Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Always exciting to be back.
So today we're going to be taking a look at a chapter from a book called Hutaisingdo, Kleinhalenetjiwit,
Okay.
which translates to The Heart of a Lion, Courage and Determination in Life. And we'll be thinking about how we can kind of channel that lion energy into our own lives to help us face challenges and, achieve those big goals.
Yeah, it's interesting, how the lion is used in this book. I mean, it's such a symbol of power, right? But the book really emphasizes the power of the heart, not just like physical strength,
Yeah.
but the courage and the determination that actually fuels success.
Hmm. It's funny, it's easy to think of like, a lion roaring and, leading a pride.
Right.
But what I thought was interesting was the emphasis on calculated confidence. Like, it's not just about being fearless, right?
No, not at all. The source actually describes it as facing danger and risk, head on, but with a deep understanding of your own capabilities.
Okay.
Like, think about a lioness hunting.
Right.
She's going into a risky situation, but her confidence in her skills and her strategy allows her to be decisive to act.
Right. So it's more about, knowing yourself and knowing your strengths and using those strategically, even when things are tough.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a pretty powerful lesson,
Yeah.
for all of us and whatever we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
One thing that really resonated with me in the book was how it talked about the way that courage and determination kind of work together,
Yeah,
almost like two sides of the same coin,
absolutely. And they use this really interesting metaphor of the lion chasing its prey
Okay.
to illustrate this idea of determination, like that relentless pursuit, the refusal to give up,
Right.
even when there are obstacles. And I think that really parallels the way we achieve goals, as humans as well.
Yeah, it's not just that initial like burst of courage to start something, but it's like maintaining that drive over time.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I guess like the discipline and the patience come in.
Exactly. And the book doesn't just say like, okay, just be more determined.
Right.
It actually gives you a framework for building that determination,
Yeah.
Like, for example, it talks about building resilience, that ability to bounce back from setbacks.
Right, because everybody, runs into those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can't really achieve anything meaningful without hitting some roadblocks along the way.
That makes me think about, times when I've been faced with challenges and it almost feels like sheer willpower is the only thing keeping you going.
Yeah.
But this book is saying it's a bit more nuanced than that.
It is. It actually digs into some pretty interesting psychological research, too.
Okay.
It highlights this idea that courage and determination aren't just innate qualities.
Right.
They can be learned and strengthened over time.
So you're not just like, stuck being courageous or timid or whatever. There's
Exactly.
actually room to grow.
There's room to grow, yeah.
That's encouraging because, that means you can actively work on becoming a braver or more determined person.
You can, and it draws a connection between those qualities and things like leadership, problem solving, the ability to inspire others.
Interesting.
And it suggests that by stepping outside of our comfort zones, we can start to build those traits.
It's almost like a muscle you've been trained.
Yeah.
Like the more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly.
And I guess those benefits, kind of go beyond just achieving individual success.
Right. And that's where the book really builds into the why behind cultivating these traits. It's not just about personal gain, but about becoming more effective in all areas of life.
I'm really interested in this how aspect. Does the book actually offer any concrete steps for,
It does.
for building these qualities?
Yeah, and that's what we'll get into next. It
So-
lays out practical strategies for facing fears, setting realistic goals, and really cultivating that all-important resilience that we were talking about. So behind the break, we were talking about how, courage and determination aren't just things you're born with.
Yeah.
They're actually skills you can hone.
And I'm really interested to dig into those strategies that the book outlines. Because nobody just like wakes up one day as a fearless leader.
Exactly, and it really emphasizes facing your fears, but not in a reckless jump off a cliff kind of way.
Right.
It's about recognizing those fears that are holding you back and then starting to confront them gradually.
So it's not about like, bungee jumping if you're afraid of heights.
Right.
But more about, finding the root of that fear and taking smaller steps.
Yeah, exactly. Like they give this example of someone who's terrified of public speaking.
Okay.
You wouldn't start by, addressing a stadium full of people.
Right.
You might practice in front of a mirror first, then with a friend,
Okay.
and slowly build up to larger groups.
Right. So it's like gaining confidence through experience.
Exactly. It's like, when lion cubs are learning to hunt.
Oh, yeah.
They start small, they build their skills over time, right?
Right.
It's not about instant mastery, but about consistent effort.
Okay. And this idea of setting realistic goals, the book talks about that too, right?
Yeah, it actually cautions against aiming too high too soon,
Okay.
because that can lead to feeling discouraged and giving up.
Right.
So it's about finding that balance between, challenging yourself,
Right.
but also setting yourself up for success.
It's almost like, when you're planning a long journey,
Right.
you wouldn't just set off without a map or any idea of where you're going.
Exactly.
Right. You'd break it down into smaller steps.
Yeah, it's about those milestones along the way.
Yeah. And speaking of journeys, the source really emphasizes this idea of perseverance, right?
Ooh,
So
absolutely.
like acknowledging that setbacks are going to happen.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Right. You're going to hit obstacles along the way. And it's not really about if you fall, it's how quickly you get back up.
Right, resilience is key.
That really resonates with me because I've definitely had my fair share of setbacks. And, it's easy to get discouraged.
Yeah.
But this idea that you can bounce back from that, that's where the real strength comes in.
Exactly. And even lions don't succeed on every hunt, right? They learn from their failures, they
Right.
adapt, they keep trying.
It's like that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Exactly.
I'm curious, though, does the book talk about how to build that resilience, like how to actually get back up?
It does, and one of the key things it highlights is the importance of having a supportive network, like a pride of lions working together.
Oh, okay.
Having people in your life who encourage you, who believe in you.
Right, like your own personal cheer squad.
Exactly. That can make a world of difference when you're facing challenges.
So it's about building a community, I guess you could say. People who share your values and aspirations.
Right, and who inspire you to be your best self.
It makes me think about, mentors or role models that we have.
Yeah.
Those people who embody the qualities that we admire.
Exactly. And the book actually encourages you to actively seek out those mentors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Those role models, those supportive friends and family members.
So to kind of recap the practical advice, we've got facing fears, gradually with setting realistic goals, persevering through those setbacks, and then building a support network around you.
Right. It's like building a toolkit
Yeah.
for courage and determination.
And remembering that, this is a process.
It is.
You don't just become this courageous person overnight. It takes time.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Right. And I guess with any journey, it's important to kind of enjoy the process as you go.
Absolutely. Celebrate those small victories, learn from the challenges along the way.
It's not about, beating yourself up when you stumble,
No, not
but
about.
using those experiences to learn.
Exactly. And the book acknowledges that, this journey of developing courage and determination,
Right.
it can be tough.
Yeah.
It's not a quick fix.
Right.
But the core message is really one of hope and empowerment.
Okay.
It's about this idea that we all have the potential to tap into our inner lion,
Oh, I like that.
to really cultivate that courage and determination to live fulfilling lives.
It's like unlocking this hidden strength within yourself
Yeah,
that maybe you didn't even know you had.
exactly.
And that's a really powerful message. It's like you're not defined by your fears or limitations,
Right.
but by your capacity to grow.
Exactly. And that actually leads to another key insight that the book explores, which is this connection between courage, determination, and leadership.
Oh, interesting.
It's not just about, leading yourself, conquering your own fears,
Right.
but about actually inspiring and empowering others.
So it's like taking those qualities and using them to lift other people up.
Exactly. The book suggests that leaders who embody courage and determination,
Right.
they're the ones who can rally people around a shared vision,
Okay.
navigate challenges with grace and resilience,
Interesting.
and ultimately achieve great things.
So it's like leading by example,
Mm-hmm.
showing people what's possible rather than just telling them.
Exactly. Actions speak louder than words.
I'm curious, does the book actually go into how to develop those leadership skills?
It does, and one of the key points is this idea of leading by example, like
Right.
actually demonstrating the qualities that you want to see in others.
Okay, so walk the walk.
Yeah, exactly. And they give examples of leaders throughout history, from all different fields who have really demonstrated these qualities.
And it makes it more tangible, right? When you can see
It does.
how these qualities have played out in real people's lives.
It makes it more relatable, and it also reminds us that, these qualities aren't just for a select few.
Right.
They're accessible to everyone, and we can learn from those who have gone before us.
So it's almost like a roadmap
Yeah,
for developing our own leadership potential.
exactly.
That's encouraging to know that you don't have to figure it all out on your own.
You don't, and the source gives some practical tips on how to cultivate those leadership skills, you know?
Okay, like what kind of things?
Things like developing strong communication,
Right.
building trust with others, fostering a culture of collaboration.
It sounds like this book would be helpful for anyone who's, in a leadership position or wants to be.
It really is, and it reminds us that leadership isn't about holding a specific title.
Right.
It's about inspiring and empowering others, you
About
know?
making a difference, no matter how big or small, and realizing that our actions can have a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on, I do want to touch on one more thing from the book that I found really insightful.
Okay.
And that's the exploration of the psychological benefits
Oh, yeah.
of developing courage and determination.
That's a fascinating
I
aspect.
usually think of those qualities in terms of like achieving goals and overcoming obstacles, but I hadn't really thought about the internal impact.
Right, and the source suggests that it's not just about external success. It's
Right.
about cultivating inner strength and resilience.
So it's more than just like checking things off your to-do list.
Exactly.
It's about feeling more confident and secure in yourself.
Yeah, like building a foundation for your overall well-being.
Okay?
And research has actually shown that people who have these qualities,
Right.
they tend to have higher self-esteem, greater resilience in the face of challenges,
Interesting.
and a more optimistic outlook on life.
It's like building up your inner armor.
Yeah.
So you can face whatever comes your way.
Exactly. And it makes sense. When we feel courageous and determined,
Yeah.
we're more likely to approach things with a can-do attitude.
Right. Instead of feeling defeated before you even begin.
Exactly. And the source offers some tips on how to build that inner strength.
Okay.
Things like practicing mindfulness, cultivating gratitude,
Okay.
developing a growth mindset.
So it's about really shifting your perspective and approaching challenges in a more positive and proactive way.
Exactly.
So this book goes beyond just, achieving success in the traditional sense.
It does.
It's about becoming a more well-rounded person.
It's about personal growth and fulfillment.
Right.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself, both internally and externally.
And that's a powerful message. It's like, it's not just about conquering the world. It's about conquering yourself.
Yeah, mastering your inner landscape.
Exactly. And letting that strength kind of radiate outwards.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key point that the book emphasizes, which is finding your purpose.
Oh, that's something I think a lot of people struggle with.
It can be a challenge.
It feels kind of elusive sometimes.
Right.
How does the book approach that?
It doesn't present it as this, unattainable thing.
Okay.
It frames purpose as a guiding light, a North Star,
I like that.
that can help you make decisions in your life.
Okay.
And it offers exercises and reflections
Too cool.
to help you uncover your own unique purpose.
So it's not about finding like a predetermined path. It's about exploring what matters to you.
Exactly. It's about your values, your passions,
Right.
the things that really light you up.
Okay. I love that it's so practical and hands-on.
Yeah, it encourages you to really engage with the material.
And the book also talks about connecting your purpose to something bigger than yourself, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about personal gain.
Okay.
It's about how you can contribute to something larger.
So whether that's your community or society as a whole,
Yeah, or even the world.
it gives you a sense of meaning, right?
It does. It can be incredibly empowering.
Like you're tapping into a source of energy and inspiration that's beyond just your own individual capabilities.
Exactly. And the book suggests that when you align your actions with your purpose,
Right.
you unlock this incredible level of passion and determination.
So it's like finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where your passions and talents intersect with what the world needs.
Exactly.
This book sounds amazing, honestly.
It's a great read.
Like if you're looking for a deeper sense of purpose and meaning,
Yeah, it's not just about setting goals. It's about making a positive impact.
aligning your actors with your values.
Absolutely.
It's a really inspiring message.
And it reminds us that finding your purpose isn't a one-time event.
Right.
It's a journey.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, it's about being open to new experiences, listening to your intuition,
Right?
and letting your purpose kind of unfold organically.
So it's about trusting the process. Even if you don't have all the answers right now,
Exactly.
just keep exploring, keep learning.
Keep growing. Yeah.
And before we wrap up this part, I want to touch on one more thing from the book that I found really interesting,
Okay.
and that's the emphasis on gratitude.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't have immediately connected gratitude with courage and determination.
It might seem surprising,
Yeah.
but the book suggests that gratitude can actually fuel those qualities.
How so?
Well, think about it when you're grateful for what you have.
Okay.
Even the small things,
Yeah.
it shifts your focus away from what you lack
Right.
and towards what you've been blessed with.
So it's about changing your perspective.
Exactly. And appreciating the good in your life, even when things are tough.
So it's like finding those silver linings,
Yeah,
even in the midst of challenges.
exactly. And the book suggests that this can actually increase your resilience and determination. When
Interesting.
you're feeling grateful,
Right.
you're less likely to get bogged down by negativity.
Okay, so like you're drawing on this reservoir of positive energy
Mm-hmm.
to help you get through those tough times.
Exactly. And it reminds you that even when things are hard,
Yeah.
there's still so much to be thankful for.
And does the book give any tips on how to cultivate gratitude?
It does things like keeping a gratitude journal, expressing appreciation to others,
Right.
just taking time to notice the good things in your life.
So it's about training your mind to focus on the positive.
Exactly. And to find joy in the everyday moments.
It sounds like a really simple but powerful practice
It is.
that can
Yeah.
have a big impact on your overall well-being.
Absolutely. And it reminds us that even in the midst of challenges,
Yeah.
there's always something to be grateful for.
It's about choosing to focus on the good
Mm-hmm.
and letting that gratitude fuel your courage and determination.
Exactly.
So we've been talking about courage and determination and like, the power we all have within us.
Yeah, kind of like that inner lion we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not always about like, facing these huge, overwhelming challenges, right?
Right. It's not always about slaying dragons or climbing mountains.
Yeah, and the book actually emphasizes that these qualities, courage and determination,
Mm-hmm.
they're just as important in those like everyday moments.
Right. The little things.
Yeah, like just showing up for yourself even when it's not easy.
Exactly. It's about those tiny acts of bravery and resilience that really add up over time.
So it's like those small choices we make each day.
Those moments where you push yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and those are the things that actually lead to, big growth and transformation in the long run.
And they don't just impact, they can inspire others too.
Oh, that's a good point. It's like, your inner lion isn't just about you.
Right.
It's about making the world a braver, more determined place.
Yeah, one small act at a time.
And I think that brings us to the question we wanted to leave everyone with today.
What is one small step you can take today?
To tap into that inner lion.
To face a challenge, pursue a goal, or just live more fully.
Doesn't have to be anything huge.
No, it can be something small but meaningful.
As long as you're taking that step.
Yeah, summoning that lion heart.
And if you're interested in learning more about this, we highly recommend checking out the full book.
Yeah, won't take some toll. Courage and determination in life.
It's packed with great stories and practical advice.
So we want to thank you all for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
It's been a really inspiring conversation.
It has.
And we hope you feel, empowered to tap into your own inner strength.
Absolutely. You have that power within you.
And we hope you'll join us again next time for another deep dive. Yeah, we've got lots more to explore together.
So until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep unleashing that incredible power within you.
See you next time.